Hello again, this is Chris from LifterLMS, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to create an online learning platform with the best learning management system technology. So today we're going to go over the LifterLMS growth engine. This is what makes Lifter different in the space, and it'll give you an idea, a window into the soul of our company, of how we think about designing a product and why we've grown so quickly over the years, and how we most importantly support people like you with our LMS technology and everything else that we do. So at its core, what LifterLMS does is it helps people do three things very well. The first thing is to create online learning, essentially, and launch the website property with the LMS or the course, the membership site, or the online university, or the training portal, whatever you want to call it. And then the last part is to actually deliver the training. So what LifterLMS helps companies and people do is create, launch, and deliver high value online training. So in terms of the intersection of these concepts here, when we do this well, what we do is we create freedom. So in the last video, I talked about how LifterLMS helps accelerate freedom. But there's some nuance to this, which we're going to go over. So between the creation and the launching, what we create out in the space is a type of freedom I call impact. So this is making a difference, making a dent in the universe, or helping if you're building these sites for your clients to help them create a big impact in their company or on their target market or for their nonprofit or whatever it is. And when we launch and we deliver high value online training, oftentimes there's a financial component. So financial freedom can happen when you create, launch, and deliver high value online training, especially at scale. And then the subtle type of freedom that people don't talk about often is what I call, between the creation and the delivery, is creative freedom. So this is where we get to teach how we want to teach, do what we want to do, create the training how we want to create training, work with the people we want to work with. This is a type of creative freedom. So LifterLMS helps accelerate freedom in these ways. And there's different ways that we support you in this process. In terms of creation, we help you get clear on your customer or your learner. So customer clarity is something that we do in the creative process to help you design your program for a specific person that you're going to get results for, so that you can create this effective training for a certain type of learner. And then we help you with the creative process. So the software is designed to help you create online courses and training-based membership sites and online schools, and it's intuitive in how you do that. And at the end of the day, you're going to have a product or a online learning program that comes out. So we help you create these different things. And people call these things different names. So some call it a course, online course. Some people call it a membership site. Some people call it an academy or a school or a training portal or whatever. It goes by a lot of different names. In terms of launching, this is what we think we're buying when we buy LMS software. This is the most obvious part, is we need the technology. We need the website. that delivers online training. So we've got you covered there. But what LifterLMS helps you also do is get leads. So we've got some, for example, some templates where you can set up a free course lead magnet template so that the website starts collecting and emails and building an email list and adding value to a community. We have conversion optimized sales technology built into the software, like the conversion optimized one screen checkout. So that is there. So this is the launching stuff. It's the tech, it's the marketing, it's the sales. It's all included in how we design the product and support our customers. And then in terms of delivery, we help you with creating the actual online learning content. Our innovative course builder really helps with that. Even if your client is a first-time course creator, then we have some technology to help you offer actual coaching. If you want to blend in, private content per user, or do some additional like Zoom classes or something like that, and you want to record that and give that private one-on-one content to that user, that's all part of the technology. And we also help you build an online community. So if you want to have a community aspect, kind of like Facebook, but on your website, we've got solutions for that as well. Because sometimes we're not just building content, we're also building coaching and community as well. So we help you create and deliver those things as well. So this is the LifterLMS growth engine. This is how we think about designing the product and supporting you on your journey to create, launch, and deliver high-value online training to accelerate the types of freedom we discussed here today. So in this next part, what we're going to look at is we're going to talk about why now? Like, why is now the time to get moving and get moving forward with LifterLMS? I call this the escape velocity timeline. So if you don't know what escape velocity is, this is the moment in which a rocket is launched from Earth and escapes the pull of Earth's gravity and is more into the vacuum of space and has incredible momentum, and it made it outside of the atmosphere. So this is what we want your learning projects to be like, where you accelerate on your journey to freedom and you achieve some escape velocity. And the way I like to, teach this is here we are right now today. And then there is 1 year from now. So let's imagine the gap here between today and 1 year from now. And then somewhere like right around here is the first 90 days from today. So basically 3 months. And what we've found is people in your situation have 3 options. So the first option today is to what I call to fight. So, and when we get on this line, these are the people that are successful with their online learning platforms. If you're building it for a client, the client is super happy, you over deliver, it was not a hassle to set up, and you felt supported the entire way. So that's kind of the what I call the fight line. And then what we have, which is unfortunately does happen in our our space is what I call the freeze line. So this is where we just kind of stall out. And then the all too common, unfortunate, I call it the middle of the road flight line, where, we're really busy, but, we're kind of moving all over the place and we're actually not making that much progress. And a year from now, we're going to either end up in the fight, in flight, or just freezing and nothing's happening. So if we do freeze up, which if you've made it this far in the video, you're probably not going to do, because you're an action taker, but you have, what freezing feels like is there's fear about the technology, or can I do this, or can my client do this? There's often a lot of excuses of why it didn't work. And then there's just an incredible amount of self-doubt. So none of you watching this video are going to end up here, but this does happen when people try to build learning management system platforms, online learning sites, in the worst case scenario. So the other thing that happens is, and it's unfortunately all too common in the space, is the unfocused, you're researching all this different technology and you got all these tools and all these things you need to work with, and you become very unfocused, jumping from thing to thing to thing. Some people call that shiny object syndrome. And perhaps you've been researching LMSs for a while, and you're just kind of exhausted by it. And, what also happens here is a lot of blame. So if we go a year from now and you're on the flight line, there's nothing to show for it. You've been busy the whole time. You're going to blame something or somebody for it not working out. It's really not a good place to be. But fortunately, when you go with LifterLMS, you end up on the what I call the fight. Like, you're fighting for building an online learning platform with the best technology that's the most powerful, customizable, and gives you the most freedom. So what these people do is they launch the thing. And not only do they launch it, the training gets delivered and learner success starts happening. So the learning outcomes start happening for the learners. And then this one's really important and not talked about enough, is they iterate, which means they continuously improve the training platform. So I like to say the launch of the website is the starting line, not the finish line. So like some of the best LifterLMS customers are constantly improving the sites. There's new training that gets added to the content and new offers and things like that. So they launch, their learners are successful, and they're iterating it, constantly improving the platform. And if you give us 90 days, you will experience you'll end up right here at this point. And if we zoom ahead into the future and look back from a year in the future, my biggest wish and hope for you is to be on that fight line, to fight for the for the learning platform project to be successful, to get the right tools to get the job done, to invest in yourself. And you'll start seeing results in 90 days. And if you make it through on the fight line, it feels powerful. If you don't, if you end up on the flight line or the freeze line, it can feel powerless. We want you to feel powerful. And I've been in this industry for a decade now. And, if I were to kind of think about what creates the gap here between the the projects that stall out, and the ones that really thrive and launch. And it really comes down to leadership. And what makes a great leader? And I want to ask you about this. Like, if you're going to end up on the green line with successful LMS project, you got to have vision. You have to invest in yourself and the technology, the tools you're going to use, and you got to choose wisely. And you have to be a person of action. You know, one of the biggest things that causes the freeze or the unfocused shiny object stuff is a lack of action. But if you invest in LifterLMS, my goal is to get you on this green line so that you can look back a year from now and look back to this, think about this video and what your first 90 days were like. Because what happens is, you got to invest, you got to learn the tools, you got to, figure out where things go and how to drive everything and put it all together. But then after 90 days, this is when the gap really starts happening and the projects really start taking off. But that takes leadership. So I wanted to ask you, where do you see yourself? Which one of these lines do you want to be on? And just know that myself and the team at LifterLMS will work to support you and get you on the green line. So LifterLMS is for you if you value 3 things. So that's what we're going to talk about here. So if you haven't 100% made the decision to commit and choose LifterLMS, this is the last part I call the perfect fit focuser. So what this does is LifterLMS is for you if you value these 3 things, which let me draw that for you. The first thing is insight. The second thing is speed. And the third thing is certainty. So remember how we were talking about how Lifter is more than just a technology company, how we help you to create, launch, and deliver high-value online training platforms. But we talked about how we do that and the LifterLMS growth engine. But what are the values that power us and also power our customers? What do they care about the most? And what do they say they love that LifterLMS did in their life? Well, it increases speed. We talked about accelerating, getting results faster, getting the support you need to get the job done, getting the right tools that work well together to deliver projects faster. This is speed. So when we have speed, what that looks like is it allows us to accelerate. When we don't have speed, our projects will stall out. And certainty is a big one. Like, how would you feel if you knew you had and you chose wisely and got yourself the best LMS technology? How would that feel? Like the certainty that you made the right decision. And if you don't, what that feels like And what it looks like is the software Frankenstein that we've talked about before. So we want to choose the best LMS. You've probably done a lot of research and you really want to pick the right thing. And that's what I'm here to help you do today so that you can accelerate. But also, we're here to provide insight, even into things that you don't know you need yet. We're going to proactively support you. And this is what you want from a company. This is why Lifter is more than a software company. I call this full stack. So we're in the online learning platform success business. We're not just a software company. We are full stack. And when you don't have the insights you need along that path and the support and the technology to support you from all angles, what you end up discovering you have is a lot of blind spots. So that's it. If you value speed, certainty, and insight, I want to encourage you to go ahead and move forward with LifterLMS. I want to ask you one final question, and that is just that, can you see yourself using this? I'm Chris Badgett from LifterLMS, and I want to thank you for going through this presentation with me today. I'm here to support you. LifterLMS is here to support you to create, launch, and deliver high-value online training.